Good afternoon, Ms. Zofin. Today, me and my group will talk about a few topics. Before introducing the topics, I would like my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Hamid Al-Banna and I'll be the conflict theorist.
Hello, my name is Rajal Hajra and I'll be the structural functionalist.
Hello, my name is Khalid Buhandi and I will be the symbolic interactions.
To begin with, the first topic on today's agenda is education. Do you think education is important in Bahrain or in general? If it's important, why is it important?
Personally, yes, I believe education is very important, as education is the pathway to success. It opens a lot of places for you and a lot of new opportunities for you in the future. Without education, I don't think anyone can. It's hard for anyone to succeed in life without education.
So education can be a big part in finding jobs and basically having a better life forward.
Exactly.
Do you think education should be equal? Since in Bahrain we have two types of schools, private and public. Should the, let's say, form of education be equal? If so, if no, why is it no? Or yes, why is it yes?
Yes, it should be equal because since they're both an education institute, they should be providing the same education level for both public and private sectors, for both public and private schools.
Why though? For example, let's say the people has more money. Don't they have the luxury to go for the best schools and best education compared to the people that they don't have money?
Well, yes, they do have the luxury of going like to better places and like better schools, but since they have more money than the ones in the public school, like even though if they didn't finish their education in a school or a uni, they have more chances of like getting a job or living financially free.
Who will get more chances for
the ones that are high class, the ones that are in the private schools.
Right.
But the ones in the public schools, since there are only limited resources and yes, they're in a public school, which obviously costs for free. They won't have as much opportunities as the ones in the private school.
So you're saying in private school you have more chances than
ones in the public school, yes.
So overall you're saying it should be
equal.
Equal.
They should be equal in terms of education, yes.
How can we do this? How can they implement the equal education method for both of them? Since let's say in private school they, if I'm not mistaken, they pay like high amount of money to bring teachers or professors from outside the country.
Yes, I mean for like public schools maybe they should add more scholarships. They shouldn't add more scholarships options to the ones in public schools, since they know that not all of them are financially stable, or not all of them are like applicable into like getting one of these stuff or paying for their tuition fee.
All right, for an individual, how will education or school or university can affect the person's point of view?
I think there is two types of people, which are the rich people and the people that are not so rich. The way is you interact with them will change. So, for example, if you interact with the rich people, the way you interact with them is totally different between the people which are not so rich. And secondly, the family names make a big difference. Yeah. So, for example, if you have a group of people or friends that are used to talk with,
yeah.
And a new group of people which are, for example, rich, the way you will interact with them is totally different.
I can agree, yeah.
I will also add something. Even I believe that people who are in private schools sometimes are taught more knowledge than people in public schools. So even the type of thinking that they have is different than people in public school. So there will always be this gap that separates both sectors.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In private schools, every once in a while, they will do trips to, for example, France, somewhere outside the country.
Exactly.
Compared to public school, is it something they do there or?
Not really. I don't think so.
Do you think?
Not as often.
Not as often. Do you think these trips are something important that will improve your education or improve your knowledge within the school purpose?
Schools are not just for education. Schools also build your personality and build how you treat people and how you can interact with other people and basically live life. And to be honest, I think it has an effect more on the personality thing than the educational thing.
What do you mean by personality thing?
When, for example, when you travel with your school, you get to depend on yourself more and live the moment as
Basically you.
without like any not as much supervision.
Yeah, you're not supervised
Yes,
by other
exactly.
people, yeah. That's a
So
good
that
point.
gives you a slight advantage in living your life than the people of public school, which have limited access to.
So yeah, public school, they are barely
Yeah.
have,
And even if they're gonna have any trips, it's not for the whole grade, I
until
think.
their trips are
Specific
basically
people.
based in Bahrain,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
I just want to add one more thing. From the things I've heard in the public schools, yes, and about the types of like going outside of Bahrain, it's only 1 in a million chance. Also, like not every individual in the public school has the chance to travel outside. But even though they travel outside, it's only like for a competition or for sports. For them, they compete in other countries. It's not like they're gonna go explore or something like how they do in private schools. For example, in my old school, they conducted a research for a subject called biology, and outside of Bahrain, they traveled to Cyprus and they gained so much knowledge, and like for the school doing this for them, they gained a lot of stuff. So this also shows that how private schools, how they're much more different than public schools.
Do you think trips that are used for basically adventure, knowing the place more, for example, going to France,
Yes.
looking at different type of museums and so on, are
Yes.
more important than traveling for competition? Because if I'm not mistaken, competition can help you to reach to some point in life. If you're good at, for example, football, you might get more chances, or they can get connected together and be something as one viewpoint.
Well, what I know is after they've done the research and they've done all the things they need to do outside of Bahrain, outside of like traveling outside our country, they get a certificate for it. So for example, if they go apply for like universities, or maybe they can keep it in their CVs, they also get more chances with this. You can also say it's the same level as like competing, yes, because of competing with sports and stuff, you also do get some opportunities, just like when getting a certificate.
I personally think this topic is quite debatable, and it's very vast.
Anything you have to add, Khalid, to
No, actually.
know? Do we move on to the next point then?
Yes.
Yes.
So our next point is healthcare. Let's base it on Bahrain. Is healthcare something important, and do everyone have access to healthcare in Bahrain?
First of all, I will talk about healthcare in a more general matter. Healthcare is very important, as healthcare decides whether a person lives a lot or has a good life or a bad life. And in Bahrain, yes, I believe that every person should have the right to healthcare, and I don't think healthcare should be even a discussion to begin with. Healthcare should be equal, and everyone should receive good healthcare.
So if healthcare, is it something, let's say, equal between, let's say, the both, let's say, structures in Bahrain? Not necessarily in Bahrain, like the rich and not so rich, do they have like the same access to hospitals, healthcare, medicine? As we know, some type of medicine can be a bit expensive, and some medicine
Well, yes, for this I would say no, healthcare isn't equal for both sectors. And why is that being? Is because that like the high sector individuals, since they have more money, obviously they can get treated in a better hospital and like in a high facility hospital, and we have like so many of them that are known here in Bahrain. For example, the Bahrain Defense Force Hospital and not Salmania, the hospital of Ad-Duwali. And for the like public sectors, like most of them are they must be treated like in a public hospital. The problem with that being is that public hospital isn't as reliable as a private hospital. And why is that? Is because like when you, for example, if you want to go get treated in a public hospital, sometimes it'll get you don't get the treatment straight away. Sometimes you need to wait months, sometimes you need to wait years. It depends on what treatment you're getting. For example, if it's surgery, or for example if you need an appointment with any type of your body, because like since it's a private hospital, like there's and yeah, since it's a private hospital, and like obviously the treatment is going to be for free, there's going to be a lot of impact on it of people. So yeah, that does not make it more reliable as a private hospital which high class individuals can afford.
So overall, you're saying healthcare should be affordable for both?
For both sectors, yes.
One more question to ask is, what will happen to an individual if healthcare was not, let's say, something easy for him or her to access? Will it affect the person's health, or what will happen to the individual's interaction?
I think that actually it will affect them because they will not take care of themselves. They don't have the money to afford healthcare or make some checkups or.
So the daily routine will be hard for them.
Yeah, but if they have money or they are rich, they will have access to make some checkups, for example, daily checkups or weekly checkups, and if they have some diseases or something, they will have the money for treatment.
So basically, you're saying that with more money they have, they will look at healthcare in a different way. Since they're easy to manage, and the opposite might be correct.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about nutrition. Do you think nutrition is an important aspect?
Generally, nutrition, healthcare, and education are the most important aspects of human beings' life. Without nutrition, I don't think anyone could actually survive. So, nutrition, yes, it's very important.
Do you think the accessibility of nutrition in Bahrain, such as fresh markets and the other type of shops we have, is it accessible for both? Should the prices be equal for both, or should they have stable prices that both can afford, or not?
Okay, well, talking about nutrition, obviously nutrition is like one of the most important impacts of life, because it's one of the resources that will let you live. Coming to price, yes, it should be stable for all, because like without nutrition, obviously you can't live. But unfortunately, in supermarkets that are like well known to be more expensive and stuff, not each class can afford the things that they have. Okay, so basically when it comes like to nutrition, and when it comes like with how fresh it is, or with its price, obviously the high sector can afford it and they can live a healthy lifestyle, other than the ones that in the lower sector, as if they just mainly go for like cheap foods, which are mainly fast foods, and these aren't healthy, and it's going to ruin their health.
Do you think the richer have access to wider variety?
Yes, they do have access to wider varieties of foods and resources.
But don't you think that since they have the money to spend, it's something into their advantage? Since they have the more money, they have the luxury to spend it on fresher stuff or healthier stuff than the people.
Well, yes, they do have the money to spend it on like healthier and more like fresher stuff, but I wouldn't say it's luxury, because it's because nutrition is a part of health and like in your life. So yes, I would say that the higher sector has more more options to like spend on more sources which are fresher and better. But like the same thing should be with the lower sector, the lower class.
What will, let's say, an effect be on an individual on nutrition if he or she has no access, or the vice versa?
I think that there is an effect in nutrition, because for example, if I am vegetarian and the people I sit with eat, for example, steak, or the way of food they eat is totally different of me, with time I will get to...
You'll adapt their habits.
Yeah.
I would like to add something.
Yeah.
To explain more, for example, when a person sits with a new group of people, they try to adapt to their lifestyle. So for example, let's say I'm someone who is less fortunate, and I'm sitting with a group that's wealthy. and I'm used to eating fast food and cheaper foods, and I would like try to change myself to eat better food and to like adapt to their lifestyle, and that's actually quite hard since we explained that there is a gap between two social hierarchies, which are the less fortunate people and the wealthy people.
Do you think family can play a role in, let's say, nutrition? Since we already covered education and healthcare, let's focus on, do you think family can have a big impact on nutrition?
Depends on what way we can view this topic. If you're viewing it on access to food, yes, I think family, especially in Bahrain, can have an effect on that, because some families are wealthier and some families are less fortunate, which could eventually like lead to having cheaper foods or better foods.
So family can have a big role.
Yes.
All right. You have anything to add on your point of view?
No, I don't have anything to add.
No, actually.
No.
So I think we covered both the importance of nutrition.
Or actually, one more thing. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay.
Okay, basically with the families that are like with the higher class, obviously, like you see, maybe most of them, they don't cook for themselves. They hire a chef or something that cooks food like how you said, steaks and stuff that they can have for lunch and dinner, including breakfast. Like they'll have a chef that will cook for them their 3 meals per day. When it comes to like lower class, they mainly like depend on like fast food, which are foods from the outside. So like this way, you want like these two sectors wouldn't be the same.
I can agree at some way. So you're saying some family might have more access to nutrition because someone else is cooking their food?
Or maybe maybe that person himself, they know how to cook it maybe even better than them.
Or let's rephrase that. I think he meant easier access.
Easier access.
All right. I can agree to some point, because let's say if someone's cooking your food,
Yeah.
will access be nutrition towards the food that you're providing the chef?
I mean, since I have the
Or
resource,
the other way around?
The other way around.
So you're giving him the budget to buy your nutritious food, and he or
Well,
she...
since he's a chef, maybe he wouldn't spend as much as I would spend when I cook my food, because maybe he knows how to cook the food with like less resource, and I know how to cook it with more resource, even fresher stuff.
But either way, if you're getting fresher stuff, won't it be the same resources, but maybe in a different quantity?
Yeah, you can say in a different quantity.
I think that's about it. I think we covered both education in the beginning, we covered healthcare,
And nutrition in the end.
and
nutrition.
toward the end, nutrition.
Yes.
I think that's all for today. Thank you for
Yes,
your
and I
time.
enjoyed being a conflict theorist.
Yeah, thank you for your
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
your time, Dr. Zafin, and I hope you enjoyed this small podcast.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Doctor.
Have a good day, doctor.